So now we continue with part 2 of perimeter and area, and last time it was triangles, now it is quadrilaterals. In your syllabus book it is very clearly specified that it is restricted to rhombus, parallelogram and trapezium. So mostly in my test I will ask you questions based on only these three, because since the syllabus book clearly specifies this is what is asked in most schools and also in the board exam. In the board exam, obviously they will not ask you anything else. Though of course in concise there are some few sums related to rectangle and square, because rectangle and square also belongs to the parallelogram family. In fact, rhombus, rectangle and square, all three have all the properties of parallelogram. So maybe we will do a couple of sums so that you know the basic formula. Otherwise it is mostly going to be parallelogram, rhombus and trapezium. So we will see the formulae for area and perimeter of these figures and also of rectangle and square. So in parallelogram you have opposite sides are parallel, both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So if in any quadrilateral they tell you that both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel to each other, that means AB will be parallel to CD and AD will be parallel to BC, then such a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Even if instead of telling both pair of opposite sides are parallel, if they say one pair of opposite sides are parallel and congruent, that means parallel and equal in length, then also that quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So if even they give only AB parallel to CD and AB equal to CD, then also it's a parallelogram. Or instead of that pair, had they given you AD parallel BC and AD equal BC, then also this quadrilateral will be a parallelogram. So either both the pairs are given as parallel or one pair of opposite sides are given parallel and equal in length. So area of parallelogram is equal to base into height. Triangle was half base into height, so this is only base into height. So if you consider AB as the base, please note BE is the height, not BC. This height with respect to AB is BE. From B you are drawing a perpendicular to the opposite side. So it is AB into BE. And I have written the square units because it's a product of two lengths. So if this is centimeter into centimeter, so it is square centimeter or centimeter squared also you can write. So area is always measured in square units, either square meter or square centimeter or whatever length is given measured in. Perimeter is always any figure, it is sum of all the sides. In this case it is sum of all the four sides. Perimeter is AB plus BC plus CD plus AD. Now usually when you name a figure, it should be given named in order. That means you will have to write A, B, C, D. You can start A from there anywhere, but it should be in sequence. It should be in order. You can write A, B, then you like D, so you wrote A, B, D, C. That is not how you name quadrilaterals. So that is important. When you name the quadrilateral, it should be in proper sequence. It can be clockwise or anti-clockwise, that is okay. Either A, B, C, D like this, A, B, C, D, or A, B, C, D, clockwise or anti-clockwise, but in sequence. What I mean is, you can't write A, B, D and then C. Can't be written that way. It should be A, B, C, then D. So that's area and perimeter. Now rhombus. Now rhombus is also a parallelogram only, so therefore opposite sides are equal and parallel, but of course rhombus has extra properties, that is all four sides of rhombus are same. So all the four sides are denoted by S in this case. So all the four sides are equal. It can be S, it can be A, it can be any alphabet. So all the four sides are equal. Now in the rhombus, the diagonals not only bisect each other, but they bisect each other at 90 degrees, that is at right angles. So therefore area of rhombus is half product of the two diagonals. So here it is not base into height, it is half product of the two diagonals. So it is half AC into BD. So that's the area of rhombus. Now perimeter of rhombus is 4 times the side. So perimeter of rhombus is sum of all the 4 sides, that is 4 times the side. Now trapezium. You have to understand these various figures. In rhombus all 4 sides are equal, but it is not a square. Why? Because the angles of the rhombus are not 90 degree. If all the angles of the rhombus are 90 degree, so then such a quadrilateral will be called a square. If all sides are equal and all angles are 90 degree. In case of trapezium, one pair of opposite sides are parallel, not both. One pair of opposite sides are parallel, so AB is parallel to DC. Then that figure, if any quadrilateral has only one pair of opposite sides is parallel, then such a figure is called a trapezium. Area of the trapezium is half sum of the two parallel sides into the perpendicular distance between the two parallel sides. Whenever you mean distance between two parallel sides, it is always the perpendicular distance. You can't say that C to some point here F is the distance. That is not distance. Distance means it is always the shortest distance, that is the perpendicular distance. So here the two parallel sides are AB and DC. So you have half sum of two parallel sides is AB plus DC into the distance between the two parallel sides is CE. So half AB plus DC into CE, that many square units. So perimeter now is sum of all the 4 sides. So AB plus BC plus CD plus AD. So it is sum of all the 4 sides. So area of trapezium is given by half sum of the two parallel sides, so half sum of AB plus DC, and the distance between the two parallel sides is CE. So that is area of trapezium, and perimeter is, for any figure, it is sum of all the sides. So that is for trapezium. Now this trapezium you will also come across in physics. In the same chapter which we are doing now, that is laws of motion, there will be graphical method to find velocity and displacement and all that. So this formula will be used there also. So now square. So as I told you, square also belongs to the same parallelogram family. We can consider parallelogram as the ancestor of all of them, and rhombus, then square and rectangle are all descendants of parallelogram. Of course, trapezium does not belong to that family, because trapezium does not have both pair of opposite sides parallel. So only one pair of opposite sides are parallel. So square, all 4 sides are equal, all angles are 90 degree, diagonals are equal, opposite sides are parallel and equal. So area is side squared. So all 4 sides are equal, so all sides are same. So side squared, and perimeter is 4 times the side. Now rectangle, if you take rectangle, the area is length into breadth. So base is length and height is breadth, because that angle is 90 degree. So rectangle is different from parallelogram. In parallelogram, the angle was not 90 degree, so you had to draw from B perpendicular to the length or to the base. So here it is L into B directly, because the angle of rectangle is 90 degree. So area is length into breadth square units, and perimeter is L B L B, add L plus B plus L plus B. So it is 2 times L plus B, and perimeter is just a length. So its unit will be either meter or centimeter, that is any unit. So in perimeter we don't write square units. So this is the first frame, that is formulae of parallelogram, rhombus, trapezium, square and rectangle. So this is the second part of the chapter, that is quadrilaterals. Quadrilateral is figure having 4 sides. So that is known as quadrilateral. So Copy all this in your notebooks. See, now we continue. Now sometimes what happens is that it is not mentioned that this quadrilateral is a rhombus or parallelogram or square. It is just given it's a quadrilateral. For example, quadrilateral is the generic name. Anything which has four sides, any figure which has four sides is called a quadrilateral. Of course, in quadrilateral there are different specifications given and specific names given if that quadrilateral satisfies certain features. Like if both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, it is called a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, if the angles are 90 degree, then it is called a rectangle. In a rectangle, if all four sides are equal, it is called a square, and so on. But now, if it is just a quadrilateral, any four-sided figure is a quadrilateral. For example, this is neither a rhombus, nor a square, nor a rectangle, nor a parallelogram. It's just a rectangle. So it's just a quadrilateral, not a rectangle. It's just any quadrilateral four-sided figure A, B, B, C, C, D, and A, D. So in such cases, how do you find the area? See, either you will be given one diagonal, AC maybe, and from the other two vertices you may be given perpendiculars. So you may be given DN is perpendicular to AC and BM is perpendicular to AC. So in that case we can split this quadrilateral as two separate triangles. One triangle and the second triangle. So in the first triangle ABC, you can say half base into height is the area of triangle ABC. So it is half, base is AC and BM is the height. And for the second quadrilateral ACD, you can say that AC is the base and DN is the height. So area is half AC into DN. So that's what is written here. Area of triangle ABC is half AC into BM, and area of triangle ACD is half AC into DN. So adding the two, you will get area of the entire quadrilateral ABCD is area of the smaller triangle ABC and area of the triangle ACD. So when you add the two, AC is common, that's the common diagonal, so you can take AC out and then it will be BM plus DN. So it is half into one diagonal, AC is one of the known diagonals, into the sum of the lengths of the perpendiculars from the remaining two vertices, that is DN plus BM. So now another case, another thing, simpler, like you've already seen a rhombus and you wrote that the area of a rhombus is half the product of the diagonals. Now how did you get that? This is not necessarily a rhombus, it is not necessary that all four sides should be equal, it's just given it's a quadrilateral, but you know that the diagonals are intersecting at right angles. If you are given that the diagonals intersect at right angles, then again you can take the top triangle separate and the bottom triangle separate and say that area of the triangle ABC is half base AC into height OB, and area of triangle ACD is half base AC into OD. So when you add the two, area of the full quadrilateral ABCD, area of triangle ABC plus area of triangle ACD. So it is, when you take AC common out, OB plus OD. Now this is one straight line, so it can be called as BD. So it is half AC into BD, or in other words, it is half product of the two diagonals. But this is only if you are given that the diagonals of the quadrilaterals intersect at right angle, like in the case of rhombus. Rhombus is one special quadrilateral where all four sides are equal, the angles and the diagonals meet at right angle. So if any quadrilateral, if the diagonals intersect at right angle, you can directly use that the area of that such quadrilateral is half product of the diagonals. So we will continue with the sums now from the Anish book. So now we will take page 150 and see question 1. on this page 150, the first question. Now here you are given two perpendicular sides AB and AD. They are 32, 32. They've just given you two perpendicular sides of a quadrilateral are 32 and 24 centimeter, and the other two sides are equal and they are 25 centimeter each. Now these two sides, so I am taking A as the point where the angle is 90 degree, and AB and AD are perpendicular to each other. AB is 32 and AD is 24. And the other two sides, that is BC and BC are 25 centimeter each. So now this quadrilateral is not a rhombus. It is not given, it's a parallelogram, and anyway opposite sides are not equal also. So it is just a quadrilateral. So now if I have to find the area of this quadrilateral, I will have to add up the area of these two triangles. I have drawn BD because by Pythagoras theorem I can easily find what is BD. BD squared will be AB squared plus AD squared, so I can find BD. Why do I need BD? Because in this triangle it is not given that this angle is 90. So I can't say area of quadrilateral or area of this triangle is half into 25 into 25. I can't use because this angle is not 90. Yes, here since this angle A is 90 degree, so I can say area of this triangle is half product of the two perpendicular sides. So half into 32 into 24. So that way I can find area of triangle ABD half AB into AD because those two sides are perpendicular. And that I get it as half into 24 into 32. So it is 384 centimeter squared. But this I have to use Heron's formula. For BCD I have to use Heron's formula, and to use Heron's formula of area of triangle I have to find the third side BD, which I have done using Pythagoras theorem. So BD the whole squared is 32 the whole squared plus 24 the whole squared. So 32 squared is 1024 and 24 squared is 576. So it is root of 1600. So BD is 40. So BD is 40, BC is 25 and CD is 25. So from that you can find the semi-perimeter of triangle BCD. Semi-perimeter will be 25 plus 25 plus 40 upon 2. That is 90 upon 2, or semi-perimeter is 5. Heron's formula for area of triangle BCD is equal to root of S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. Your A is taken as BD, which is 40 centimeter. And your B and C are equal, both are 25 centimeter. So 45 minus 40, 45 minus 25, 45 minus 25. So 45, 5, 20 and 20. So therefore you get it. I have not gone to multiply all this. I have multiplied 5 into 20 and written it as 100. 45 into 20, written it as 900. So when I take the root of 900 is 30 and root of 100 is 10. So I didn't do any multiplications except when I used Pythagoras theorem here. Otherwise I have not done any multiplication there. Directly I have got it as 300 centimeters squared. So the entire quadrilateral is area of this triangle plus the area of the second triangle. So from this you get the addition of those two as 384 plus 300, that is 684 centimeter squared. So the area of the quadrilateral is 684 centimeter squared. Second sum is very similar to the first sum, only the numbers are different. Again you are given AB and AD, the angle A is 90 degree, so those two sides are perpendicular to each other. So we can easily find area of triangle ABD as half into AB into AD. So that is half into 30 into 16, so it is 240 centimeters squared. Now again in that triangle none of the sides are perpendicular to each other. So I can find BD by using Pythagoras theorem in this triangle ABD. So I can get BD squared is AB squared plus AD squared. So 30 squared plus 16 squared, so that is root of 1134. And to just verify what is root of 1134, if you're not sure, you can see it is 34. How did I imagine 34? Because the number ends in 6. It has to be either 34 because 4 into 4 is 16, or it can be 36. 6 into 6 is also ending in 6, 36. 6 6 are 36. So that way you will have to imagine it is either 34 or 36. None of the other numbers are possible because 31 will end in 1, 32 will end in 4, 33 will end in 9, 35 will end in 25. 36 is the only possibility other than 34. So that way you have to imagine that this and then check it. So then in triangle this we have already seen that it is 240. Now you have to use Heron's formula here. This side is 34, 42 and 20. So your A is 34, B is 42 and C is 20. So semi-perimeter A plus B plus C upon 2, that comes out to 96 upon 2, so it is 48. So area of the triangle BCD by Heron's formula, root S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. So the calculations are shown here. So now see, when I come to the actual calculation, it is 48, 14, 6 and 28. Now I have not wasted my time sitting and multiplying all this. That is what many students do. Don't do it. So what you do instead of doing the multiplication and then finding the square root is divide this into basic forms. Like 48, I wrote it as 6 into 8. 6 8s are 48. Then 14, I wrote it as 7 into 2. 6 as it is. And 28, I wrote it as 7 into 4. And you may ask me, why did I do this? This is because I wanted to avoid all that multiplication, waste of time, and then possibility of errors. So now I have paired. Now if you look at this, there are 2 6, there are 2 7s, then there is 8, and then there is 4 and 2. 4 into 2 is 8. So I have written it as 6 into 6, 7 into 7, this 8, and 2 into 4 is 8. Now when I take square root, 2 6 will become 1 6, 2 7s will become 1 7, and 2 8s will become 1 8. So that square root has vanished. So it is basically 6 into 7 into 8. So instead of doing all the multiplication, you can just do this and save a lot of time, and you can avoid calculation errors also. So this is 42 into 8, so that is 336 centimeters squared. So the entire quadrilateral will be this plus that. The area of triangle ABD plus area of triangle BDC. So it is 240 plus 336, that is 576 centimeter squared. So please note this down in your notebooks. We're going to the next sum. This sum again is quite similar to first and second sum. Only the thing in this case, the area of the quadrilateral is already given. And you are also given that AB, that is given as 18 centimeters squared, and you are given AB is perpendicular to BC. It is shown in the figure that angle at B is 90 degree. So obviously this triangle, the area will be half into AB into BC. And you can find BC using Pythagoras theorem. This 7.5 the whole squared, that is the hypotenuse. In this case AC is the biggest side. So 7.5 the whole squared, the side opposite triangle, is AB squared, or 4.5 the whole squared plus BC squared. So that's what is written here. 7.5 squared is 4.5 squared plus BC squared. Now 7.5 squared minus 4.5 squared will be BC squared. So here you can use the formula A squared minus B squared is A plus B, A minus B. So that is better than actually doing the multiplication, squaring it and calculating. So somewhere in life use this, that is A squared minus B squared, either use karega, either use karo. This is simple, this makes the calculations easy. So 7.5 plus 4.5 into 7.5 minus 4.5. This is 12 and this is 3. 12 into 3 is 36. So 36 BC will become root of 36, that is 6 centimeter. So you found BC, LT you don't know, you have to find that. That is why the area was already given. The area of the entire figure is 18 centimeters squared. So area of the entire figure is area of triangle ABC plus area of triangle BCT. When you add the two, it is half 4.5 into 6. BC is 6 and plus half into now base into LT. So base is BC, again 6 into LT. So when you do the calculations, this is 27 by 2, 13.5, and that is 3 times LT. So shift it here, you get 4.5, 18 minus 13.5 is 4.5, upon 3 will be LT. So LT will be 3 by 2 or 1.5 centimeter. So that's how you find LT. Now the fourth sum is very simple. It is given that the width or the breadth, width is another word used for breadth, of a rectangular field is x and the length will be 2x. It is given that the length is twice the width. So we take the smaller side, that is the width or breadth, as x, then the length is 2x. Your perimeter of the rectangle is given, it is 120 meter. So if perimeter is 120, it means perimeter is sum of the length of all the four sides. So L plus B plus L plus B. So it is basically 2L plus B. So 2 times L is substituted as 2x and B is substituted as x. So this is 3x into 2, 6x is 120. So x we found it as 20. So x is 20, that is the width. So length will be 2x, that is 40. So area of rectangle is length into breadth. That's the formula for area of rectangle. So it is 40 into 20 or 800 meters squared. So that's how you will find the area, because a relation between length and breadth and the perimeter was given. Copy this in your notebook. Now in the next sum, that is in the fifth sum, you can mark it important. In this sum, it is given that you have a quadrilateral. How many square tiles of 20 centimeter will be needed to pave a footpath which is 2 meter wide and which surrounds a rectangular plot of land 40 meter by 22 meter. So AD and BC is 40 and DC and AB is 22 meter. So the footpath is this red color shaded region. It has uniform width everywhere of 2 meters. So obviously if AD is 40 and both sides you add 2, then this outer region including the footpath, TS will be 40 plus 2 plus 2, so 44 meter. And similarly DC was 22 and if you add 2 plus 2, so then it will become 22 plus 2 plus 2 is 26 meter, that is SR or PQ. PQ or SR is 26 meter. So now the area of the footpath would be area of the outer region minus area of inner region. So outer region is your PS into SR, 44 into 26, that has been shown calculation 1144. And the inner region is AD into CD, 40 into 22, that is 880. So the area of the footpath alone is 1144 minus 880, which is 264 meters squared. See, this area is in meters squared. Now the tiles, number of tiles required, if I write it as N, it is the area of the entire footpath minus area of each tile. You are given that the tile is square. So area is side squared. But the side of the square is 20 centimeter. So you can't have area of footpath in meter and tile side in centimeter. So you have to divide that 20 by 100 and convert it into meter. So it is 0.2 into 0.2 meters squared. and numerator is already 264 meters squared. Remember, this is common mistake. Many times students leave it as 20 centimeter and the answer goes wrong. You have to have the numerator and the denominator in the same units, either in centimeter or in meter, if you have to convert it. So here it is 0.2 into 0.2. So shifting the two decimals, I have converted this to 2 and 2, and instead I have put a 10 and 10 on the numerator, or I have put 2 zeros on the numerator. So after doing the calculation, I get number of tiles required n is 6,600 tiles of that size to just pave this footpath. Now for homework, this homework would be for next Sunday. Mostly on Monday I will send you the next set of, that is on 8th, I think I will send you the next set of videos. So these are just 3 sums. Question 1, 2 and 3 on page, that is page number 151 and 152. There are those 3 sums, just 3 sums based on whatever you have learned till today, that is for your homework. So we will stop there, and next week onwards you will be having your Zoom sessions also. We will tell you about that. Bye.